What is going on today, guys? And welcome back to another episode of Fix It Garage. In today's episode, it is round 4 of the Oregon SCCA Autocross events. The last one you saw was dry and I was able to use the slicks. This one, take everything and flip it backwards. It was pouring rain and I actually ran my all-season tires, which are Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 Pluses. They have a lot more grip in the rain than the Falcon Azeni RT 660s for obvious reasons. It's an all-season tire and not a DOT track tire. So, yeah, ran these. Unfortunately, this video kind of doesn't have great footage, and if you watch till the end, I will explain why. But we're gonna jump right into the action, show a little bit of some footage of the other cars, and get right into my runs, and then we're gonna talk about what all happened. Alright, so there was the footage that we had from the day. Yeah, some of it went on the cutting room floor, but there really wasn't a whole lot of other video. Unfortunately, the weather was so bad that we were having all kinds of issues. To start with, my normal GoPro tripod that I would talk to you guys on broke. So we don't have that anymore. The suction cup mounts that I would normally stick on the windows, you know, here, back here, way back here, or even on the rear window, it got so cold overnight inside the car where we were parked, the suction cups shrunk and they wouldn't stick to anything. They wouldn't even, if I wanted to, I couldn't even stick it to the vinyl. It wouldn't stick to anything. So to try to prevent that, I'm actually going to put some stick-on mounts on like back windows and things like that. Windows that don't roll down or that don't move, so I can have something on the car at all times in case this happens again. Really unfortunate that it happened, but you know what? That's just how things go. I also have a mount on my helmet, but I didn't know if I was allowed to use it, and I didn't want to get out of the car to ask. It was so wet and miserable. So that was a problem. So we broke a tripod. We didn't have any suction cup mounts that worked, and on top of that, my wife, who is an amazing woman, was freezing cold trying to just even get a little bit of video of this car. So in between the runs for me, she would actually sit in the car to stay warm. And I don't blame her. It was cold. I actually only did my 3 scored runs and decided to not do the 4th run, which would have been a fun run. I decided just to forego it and go back to the pits and start packing up. Speaking of packing up, that's where we ran into the biggest problem of the day. We put our pits down, we put a tarp down, put everything on a tarp and covered it with another tarp, thinking, all right, we're gonna keep all of our stuff dry. Not what happened. Everything got soaked. I almost thought I lost the hard drive that contains all of my Fix It Garage videos and footage to make all these videos to bring you guys content, including stuff that I haven't even released yet. That was really scary for me. Luckily, the hard drive's fine. I've now purchased another one, and I have it backed up to that one as well, so I've got plenty of backup hard drive space now. But that was the beginning of the problems. Everything was soaked. So all the gear was soaked, the other wheels and the bags were soaked. So we had to load it all into this to drive home, because I didn't trailer it. We drove this from here to Shelton and back. Well, everything was soaking wet, so the tires were in the back seat and all the gear was in the trunk. So the trunk filled with water, that was messed up. The back seats were soaked. I had to use a carpet cleaner to pull as much moisture out as I could, and they still took a few days to dry. They're just now starting to get dry. It's been a week. They're not fully dry yet, but they're close. The trunk is all dried out. I pulled everything out. You can't see it, but back in here, there's all kinds of parts and stuff laying around for the trunk of this car. I need to put this back together so I can drive it, because the weather actually right now is really nice. And the weather when I race it again should hopefully be nice. We'll see. So I need to clean this and get it back in. We actually need to clean the car. The car hasn't been cleaned in a month. It's time to wash it. We need to detail it. That's going to be coming up in a video very shortly. But that is the end of the weekend. Super fun. I want to thank the Oregon SCCA yet again for putting on another amazing event. You guys are awesome people, and I cannot wait till the next rounds here very shortly. Next time, we're actually going to start working on this finally. I know I introduced it, didn't do anything other than that, but we're actually going to start working on this thing. We're going to work on getting all the fluids out, and start getting the engine out of the car. Now, these are going to be a lot of time-lapse videos, but also with a lot of talking. We're going to start trying to get this thing torn apart. I need to get the engine out. I still actually don't have the adapter plate while recording this, but we're going to pull the engine out and we're going to start trying to figure things out. Before I even bother putting the engine in, we have a lot to figure out, like fueling and cooling and all of these different things, because we're going from air-cooled to liquid-cooled and intake. We have to figure out a lot of stuff. There's a list. I have a list. Behind you guys is a list of everything that I need to do. But that's for next time. This car, once again, has done exactly what it needs to do. This thing is turning into a trooper, and I'm going to be giving it an oil change very soon to reward it for being so good. We also need to get the oil change because I'm going to send the oil off to Blackstone and have them analyze the oil just to make sure everything's good. Everything seems to be okay, but we're going to have it double checked just to be sure, because we are running the crap out of this car now. We're pushing it, and with us getting into the warmer race season, I want to make sure that she's good to go. So this car is going to get some attention. This car needs some attention. My CRV Daily needs a lot of attention. My dad's truck needs some attention. I've got that here right now actually to work on. It's being stored in another place inside at the property. And then the CRV is also being stored in another place at the property. Those both need to be cleaned and have some maintenance done. We need to put the street tires back on the CRV. It's still on snow tires. We're in April and it's still on snow tires. What am I doing? I'm just slacking over here. But that is gonna do it for today, guys. As always, if you guys like what you saw, please remember to smash that like button. Leave comments down below and don't forget to subscribe. We just hit 80 subscribers. For me, that's a huge deal. I've been fighting to get there for a long time. We made it, so now we need to get ourselves up to 100. Let's go. Let's get to 100. Let's keep on climbing. Blah, 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 if I can talk tonight. Hopefully this thing will bring in a lot of new subscribers. This is a pretty unique project. Kind of. A lot of people do it, but not a lot of people put it on YouTube. So hopefully people like this. Hopefully you guys are excited to see this thing turn into something. And who knows, maybe when this is done, we'll take this out to the track with this car, and I'll race this thing instead of this thing for one event just for fun. Just to do it when it's all done. We'll have to put some better tires on it. But yeah, that's something I'm kicking around with, maybe taking this to the track once it's done. It'll be a sketchy thing to drive, but hey, you know what? If you're having fun, that's all that matters. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.